We're making minced pork with peas today. It sounds really simple, but I promise you it is really delicious. Hey everyone, I'm Flo and I'm here to bring you simple food ideas that will help you eat well and save money. We're going to start off marinating the pork. I have a pound here. I'm adding 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. This recipe is really simple. You probably have all the ingredients already at home, especially if you follow the channel. And also 2 teaspoons of rice wine, 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, and a teaspoon of cooking oil. I'm using avocado oil today, but you can use any neutral oil. Just gonna mix this by hand. Just find it's easier. Now my original recipe in my cookbook Daily Special uses beef instead of pork, but I think pork is gonna be just as yummy. I'm adding a little bit less oil than I would beef because pork is more fatty. And once you get all the ingredients incorporated, just set that aside. You know, most of the time I can't be bothered, especially with marinating. So I do think that it adds extra flavor here. So I'm gonna take the opportunity to do that because I'm going to be preparing the rest of my ingredients anyways. So why not let the pork marinate? I have half an onion and I'm going to mince this today. So I like to keep the butt on at the end, so that gives me something to hold on to when I chop it up. Instead of having all of the onion fly all over the place and then not being able to hold it properly. And the reason why I decided to mince the onion rather than just leave it in strips is because of all the other ingredients are going to be like little bits. So it adds to the mouthfeel. If you're eating little bits of things, you don't want something stringy in there also. Anyways, that's just what I think. I'm using 1 giant clove of garlic. You can use as much or as little as you want. That was the clove that came off. And I'm just gonna peel it. Well, maybe it's more than, look, it's like 3 cloves in here. All right, that's officially minced. I'm cutting up a green onion for garnish. I'm going to cut up the white part and add it to my other onion. Only because I like it more cooked, and the rest of it can be garnish. Next, we're going to work on the sauce. I have a cup of beef broth. If you don't have beef, you can use chicken broth instead. I just find that the beef broth has more body and more umami. Adding 1 tablespoon of sugar. That helps to balance out the flavors. I'm also adding 1 tablespoon of dark soy sauce. If you don't have dark, you can just use regular soy sauce. And 3 tablespoons of oyster sauce. And the oyster sauce does add a different flavor to it, but again, if you don't have it, you can just use soy sauce. Just know that it won't have as deep a flavor as if you were using oyster sauce. And don't forget the peas. If you don't want to use peas, you can use corn, you can use another vegetable, just cut it up into smaller chunks. I like to use zucchini as well, or you can cut up some broccoli. Whatever you have, it would work just fine. Using my wok today, I'm gonna turn it on to, I think a medium is good. Once you see a wisp of smoke, I'm adding about half a tablespoon of cooking oil. And it's because my pork is more fatty than beef. I am not adding as much oil. And if you don't have a wok, you can just use a large frying pan. I'm gonna move this around a little bit and flatten it out and just let it sear for about a minute. That will add to the building of flavor. What I find with Chinese cooking is that it's good to have all of your ingredients ready to go because the cooking part of it actually goes by really fast. All right, it's been about a minute. Just sear the other side. All right, just break it up. And move it around. We don't have a lot of those old school Chinese diners anymore. And so these are the kind of dishes that I really miss. And you know what? It's so much easier and time saving and money saving to just make it at home. And you can make delicious food for your family without spending a lot of money. And you don't even have to be a good cook to do it. I'm just a home cook, so I don't have restaurant experience or anything, but I can make a good meal for my family. I'm moving the meat up to the side, and this is why I kind of like using a wok, because I can do that. And we're gonna add our onions and get that going. I'm gonna cook this until the onion is cooked through. It'll take a couple minutes, depending on how soft you want your onions. If you don't mind them a little bit on the raw side, just a minute will do. Okay, adding my garlic. And garlic only takes about 30 seconds. You just wanna cook it until it's fragrant. When you can start to smell it, it's kind of cooked and infused into that oil. Now we're gonna mix everything back together. Oh, it smells so good, you guys. I wish you could smell it. Pushing that meat mixture to the side again, and we're gonna add our sauce. And we're gonna let that simmer. In the meantime, we're going to make a cornstarch slurry. This will help thicken the sauce. I'm using about a tablespoon of cornstarch, adding about a tablespoon of cool water or room temperature water. And don't use hot water, otherwise it won't dissolve. Okay, as soon as that sauce is simmering, I'm gonna add our cornstarch slurry. And stir that in. And cook it until it's heated through and the sauce becomes glossy and thickened. Oh, look at that. Imagine this over rice. Yummy. I'm gonna add in my peas. We just want to heat that through. Won't take long.
3.
Okay, once the peas are heated through, we're gonna turn off the heat. Add in our green onions. 1/4 teaspoon of ground white pepper. And ground white pepper has a different flavor from black pepper, but if you don't have white pepper, you're more than welcome to use black pepper. It just has a little bit more heat to it. And a drizzle of sesame oil, maybe about a teaspoon or so. And give it a stir. And that is it. Oh my goodness. I can't wait. My mouth is already watering. All right, let's get this into a bowl. So these are just simple meals that the family will enjoy at dinner time. Doesn't take much effort, and it's super delicious food. And I really do hope that it will help you save money and to eat well. Are you all ready for the taste?
Dude, this is the taste. One of the perks of being the husband, the cameraman, is that I get to taste the food. So it's a pretty good gig, right? You don't need fancy looking food as long as it tastes awesome. So look at that. The sauce is glossy and rich, and it just coats the food beautifully. And that sesame oil at the end, what a great finish, because it has that aroma just emanating from the pork. Oh, so much flavor. And the mouthfeel, onions still have that slight crunch, but not raw. And the peas, nice pop too. So overall, a ton of flavor and a meal that you can have any day of the week. So do it.
Awesome, thanks dude. Another simple recipe, probably with ingredients you already have at home. Eat well, save money. Recipe can be found at FLO'S.com.